I have some bad news for all of you. You've all failed. That's right. I'm sorry. You all subscribed to my channel when you should have been subscribing to orbitaldot, creator of Mesmalie. So I'm using my vast platform to shed light on a niche, soulful indie game. Mesmalie is a good video game, let me tell you. It's the first major game project released by orbitaldot, who is a friend of a friend. Mesmalie is a sort of visual novel point-and-click game with an occult theme.
You like
point-and-click visual novels with witches?
Man.
Then look no further than this. If you're looking for a lighter gaming experience that still has a lot of variety but is easy to pick up on, then it is my recommendation that you check this one out. In this video there will be a couple of small spoilers for things outside of the demo, but I won't really touch on the secret endings and major things like that. Again, it's sort of a dialogue-centric game, so play it blind for yourself if you want the most out of it. When you begin this game, you're in a sort of fucked up dream world where a bird is mean to you. Then you wake up and your house is on fire. And guess what? It's all your fault. You did this to yourself because it turns out you have a dormant pyrokinetic magical power. That's right, magic with a K. That's how you know Mesmalie isn't messing around. So you visit a witch's house in the middle of nowhere in hopes of taming your newfound ability. This is Mesmer, the main character who says most of the words. She's funny and I like her. The way the dialogue is pretty informally written adds a lot to the characters' personalities. Mesmer loves using these damn commas. Even though she's the only one you talk to for a majority of the time, there's hardly a dull moment with her scatterbrain and morally unpredictable nature. She's the kind of girl who would throw glass bottles at you out of sheer excitement. Oh yeah, she actually does that. She's a member of a coven of witches, accompanied by Murphy and Malady. I don't know. You don't get to see them much. Maybe they're too busy brewing potions and flying on brooms and shit. You might also discover someone else living in the house. The pair of eyes from Delta Chapter 1. For Mesmer to teach you about your magic with a K, she takes you through 3 sessions in order to hone different aspects of your ability, as well as holding up your end of the deal by helping her with the ritual. The sessions are each different kinds of mini-games based around using your magic, which is simply activating the ability and clicking on the screen. It's one of the most basic mechanics, but they manage to keep it interesting and you don't really expect some of the things you do with it. You can even play some of these sessions in the extras menu after you unlock them, which is nice. Although I will say there is one that I wish you could access from here. I guess I should talk about how the game is structured too. The game is quite a bit short, but that's not including the variety of secrets and optional things to do. One of this game's main gimmicks is the multiple endings. At basically any point where you see this icon in the corner, you can just leave. It's kind of funny, but also pretty interesting, and then you get a little description of the aftermath of wherever you decide to drop it. But you don't need to worry about losing progress, since you can easily pick different scenes to start from. And it even displays a star for if you got all of the possible outcomes. I thought this system was handled pretty well. One of this game's best and most immediately evident qualities is the visuals. On the surface, it's only fairly simple pixel drawings, but the sort of boiling effect used over them is done in a pretty interesting way. Rather than each boil frame being individually drawn, it appears like the various assets are coded to wobble around to give them more life. I think it's a cool way to achieve this effect. I can always appreciate the way developers can add extra flair to otherwise static art. Generally, a pretty simplistic but very distinct aesthetic. And the soundtrack. Usually I don't care for it when a game so heavily reiterates on one main melody all throughout, but I think it works really well here. The main theme lends itself well to being used in all kinds of ways. The whole soundtrack is very melancholy, but also a little silly with it. The instrumentation fits nicely, a mix between synthetic samples and more classical sounds. There's a surprisingly diverse range of tracks. My favorites are probably the one that plays in the house and the one that plays in the deep forest. You can listen to the music in-game in the extras menu or find it on YouTube, the ultimate source for all video game soundtracks. And that covers a lot of it. Mesmalie is a work of art. It's not a very bulky game, but what's here is very enjoyable and left me satisfied after anticipating the release for months. Definitely check this out if you're into the aesthetic and are looking for a more relaxed, story-oriented experience. And if you're not already convinced, would you look at that? That's right, I'm in this game. so you basically have to play it now if you're subscribed to me. But before I go, I want to bring attention to a little secret I discovered. I don't think anyone's really talked about it yet, not even in the Discord server, but that's kind of to be expected when Mesmalie has a relatively small community. If you go outside and hit the shovel into the air, then magic these cages before the shovel falls back down, you gain access to a secret room. I think this is the true ending.